Hi, let's talk about the odd and even functions. So when is the function is odd? The function is odd whenever we have the f of negative x is equivalent to negative f of x. So what we mean by that, let's suppose we had the value, let's suppose we had our f of x. So let's give an example over here. We have f of x equals x raised to power 5. And so what we will do first, we're gonna get this value, which is we're gonna substitute x as negative, and then we're gonna get this value and see whether they are equal each other. So first, let's get our f of negative x. So what we will do over here, instead of writing x, we're gonna substitute it with negative x. And as you guys know, if we multiply negative by negative 5 times, we're gonna get the negative. So if we had like this, x raised to power x negative raised to power 4, then this would give us a positive. But since we have the odd, or 5 in this case, then it's gonna give negative. So this is the same. So what we'll do is we're gonna get negative to outside, and our power raised to the x. So f of negative x is equal to the negative x plus 5, or exponent 5. And we have f of x, negative f of x is equal to the f of x, but we also have the negative. So we have this value. So as you guys see, this value, f of negative x, is equivalent to negative f of x. So our condition is true. So this means this function is odd. And whenever we have an odd function, it's symmetric with the origin. And what we mean by that, we have our y-axis and x-axis. What we mean, this is the origin, and this is what we mean by it's symmetric with the origin. So if we had our graph like this, in the positive side, then in the negative side it will be like this. So basically this is what we mean by symmetric with the origin. And or the picture is not obvious in this case, so I will type it one more time. If we have it like this, then if it's in the positive side like this, then in the negative side it will be like this. So yeah, that's what we mean by the odd symmetric with the origin. And now let's talk about the even function. The function is even when the f of negative x is equivalent to f of x. And what we mean by that, when we put negative x, we substitute the x with negative x, we're gonna get the same function. So let's suppose we had f of x equivalent to x raised to power 4. So if we take the negative of the x, then it's gonna be, we substitute the x with negative over here. So as you guys remember, we said if it's raised to even, then it's gonna give us positive. So we get positive and x raised to power 4. So f of x is equal to f of, and this function is even. And when we have a function that's even, then it will be symmetric with the y-axis. And what we mean by that, this is our y-axis, this is the y-axis, and symmetric with the y-axis, it's like this. In the positive side it will be like this, or in same with the negative side. So like they're identical to each other, but instead of being in the origin, they are in the y-axis.